I'm not Jeremiah. Like, I passed those.
Oh, okay. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I of course want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh and to his son Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, which is named the Most High, and Yahweh Shai, which is named the only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I'm here with one of our brothers here, Dasan. He wanted to join me for a lesson. We're just going to be talking about, we'll let the spirit flow, but we're going to be talking about, these heathens, these nations that had us in captivity. These nations are going to be going into to slavery when Yahweh Shai returns. So, Dasan, you can go ahead and, introduce yourself because some of the audience might be new here.
Yeah, most definitely. My name is, Deshaun, the truth of the Bible, that's my YouTube channel. I'm just kidding. My YouTube channel and things like that. And yeah, that will be the topic, for today that we will be talking about.
Right. And if anybody would like to watch his channel, I will leave a link to it in the comment section down below. I'll leave a link. Anyway, is there any verses that you would like to get to start off the video?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I guess, I guess I'll start off by saying, like, um, if you guys haven't seen it, like this movie, called, The Goodbye Uncle Tom, and it talks about, like, the so-called blacks going, into slavery and stuff like that, and, and it was, and I was watching the movie, because it was the first time seeing it, and I was like, dang, this is pretty crazy, like actual slavery, and all that type of stuff, being in the boats, being in the cages, and stuff like that, and picking crops and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
I hear you, man. Well, what was the name of the movie?
Uh, Goodbye Uncle Tom. Yeah, it was recommended by GMS, GMS South Carolina, you know, but it was making a video about Hamites and Judites, like.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into it, man, because that sounds like a good one. Anyway, I wanted to,
Yeah.
share a little bit, a little funny story that happened to me yesterday, man. Just to give, may I say, a visual view, of how Babylon, America, is clearly going down, man. This place is done for, man. Hey, I made jokes before about, how bad people are doing out here, man. But yesterday I was at, I stopped to the damn Dollar Tree, to get myself, a couple, stuffs that I needed. And, as I'm out there at the checkout, I was looking to get something that was like, it was on sale for $4 from $6. So I was, trying to get it, but something happened where, that the computer wouldn't register the price. So I, went back and forth with her because I wanted to, the sale. But anyway, what happened was there was this one guy there who, he's looking at all the stuff there. And, he walked out the store, the alarms, the metal detectors or whatever you want to call them, they went off. So they called him back in, and, he said he didn't have anything on him. But, when they threatened him and told him, they called the police on him, because they knew he was stealing from him, he ended up pulling out, like what, $5 worth of socks. So it just shows you, man, that, people are doing bad out here, man. I mean, damn, you're going to really steal $5 worth of socks? So it just shows you, man, just as a visual, that, the people out here in Babylon, man, these people are through, man. All right, this place is through. Anything that you would like to add to that?
Um, yeah, I didn't know about that, about someone going to the store, and taking $5 worth of socks,
Yeah, yeah. As I said, man, it's ridiculous. But that just shows, man, the level that, of people are going to be getting desperate out here, man. I mean, it's like, as I said, man, it's like, damn, if you can't even
Yeah.
afford it $5 for, pair of socks, it just shows you, man, that this place is done for, man. As, hey, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone, which, much respect is most certainly due to the elders and the apostles of GMS. But, starting with them, they've been out there for years, man, prophesying that, these hard times are going to come to America. And, these people, they scoffed in the comment sections, they didn't want to listen, or they're like, oh, that's never going to happen. And here we are, man. We're in the middle right now of, this country going, excuse my language, but this place is going to shit, man. But this place is clearly, on its last leg, But anyway, we'll get into, the main topic that we were going to, speak about. So, Dasan, if you can you get Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16?
Yeah. Yeah. Verse 16?
Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16.
Alright. Luckily, I was on Jeremiah. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them for every mountain and
right.
Every hill.
Right. Now this is talking about right now. Right now, there's many right now there's many fishers out here, which is us, right? That's why, when you read in the scriptures, it speaks about being fishers of men. Right, so we're out here spiritually fishing for those who want to, hear and will believe in this gospel. But very soon, when Yahushai, who they call Jesus Christ, returns, we're going to be turned into hunters, right? And we're going to hunt these, these Rockefellers and these, global elite, from out of their, bunkers that they take refuge in, when Yahushua returns. And I believe it's Revelation, the 6th chapter. Could be mistaken, but it speaks about, how when Christ returns, all the rich men are going to hide themselves in, in the holes in the rocks of the mountains. And it just so happens to be that if you do your research, there's many bunkers that they've had, made around the world, so that when, say nuclear war or, some type of, as they, they try to make fun of it and say like, zombie apocalypse or something, just so the masses, think it's all a joke, but hey, they're going to take cover in there and they're going to survive the initial, coming of the Lord only so we can round them up and, take them into captivity. Anyway, is there anything you'd like to add to that, Dasan?
I'm okay.
Okay, did you have any verses lined up that you wanted to bring out for the video?
Sure,
Yeah, we'll get, hey, go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10.
Okay.
Because you see, Christians, they'll never talk about this verse, They'll be on there saying, God loves everybody and whatnot, but they'll never bring this verse up because, when you go to this, it's very obvious what it's saying. But, they, of course, they won't want to accept it, because it doesn't fit into their doctrine, they're out here teaching.
Yeah, sure. Revelation 14, verse 10?
13 and verse 10.
Okay. Alright, and he leadeth into captivity. He leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the faith of the saints.
Right. We could stop there, but it goes to show, man. If you just do research on how America was formed, America was built off of the the slavery and the rape, robbery, and murder of the so-called black man, which is the Jews, according to the Bible. So there we go. The blood of the saints have been shed here in America, and America was quite literally built on the blood of those individuals, those men, women, and children. So and this goes into another thing, man, because when you deal with the topic of Babylon the Great, they always say, if you ask them, they'll bring up and say, well, it says that the blood of the saints was spilled there, but no Christians was persecuted in America. Well, You guys don't know. You don't know the scriptures. Inside joke. Um, yeah, but as I said, that's a whole nother topic in and of itself, man. But you see, the Christians always skip over these verses that talk about slavery, man. As I said, those guys, they just deal with BS, man. Those cats ain't really, they're all weak, man. That's all I'm gonna say about those cats. Like I remember, man, you know, a year ago, it's been an entire year now since I've had that debate with Rock upon him. He got his ass cut 6 ways to Sunday. That guy, that wasn't even a damn joke right there. Um, but I remember in the discussion I brought up to him, about that verse, and he was like, "Whoa, you're wrong." So I asked him, well, what's it saying? And he was like, "Oh, well, I don't know what it means." It's like, so I'm wrong, but yet you yourself don't even know what it means. So it just shows you, man. And these guys are just, full of BS, man. But anyway, man, I'll let you go ahead and say a few things.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, these Edomites, they're gonna have to pay, for what they did, to the so-called Jews, to the so-called Negroes, and the other Israelites, the Hispanics, the Native Americans. They're gonna have to pay for what they did to the Lord's children,
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. This place, hey, there's a verse that says, the land must be cleansed by the blood of him that have shed the blood on the land, right? So, and if you go to, let me see, what's the verse? What was that?
Sorry. I'm excited. Numbers 35 and 33?
I believe that might be it. I could be mistaken.
Oh, okay. Alright, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein are for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed, and but by the blood of him that shed it.
All right, Con, that's exactly the verse that I was thinking about. But yeah, man, and they'll never bring this up. But then it's funny because if you go to the book of what is that, Ecclesiastes? I believe it's Ecclesiastes. What is that? Ecclesiastes 15:3, I believe. It says that the Lord requires that which is past, or it might be Ecclesiastes 15:3 or 3:15, one of those. But it clearly says that the Lord requires that which has passed. Because when you bring this up to these guys, about the whole slavery thing, they'll be like, oh, when that happened, a long time ago, so we don't got to talk about that anymore. So it's like, okay, well, what about this verse? It says that the Lord requires that which has passed. So I mean, how do these cats get around it? And the answer is they can't. They'll just pretend that the verses don't say what they say. But as I said, man, like if you go to what is that, Isaiah the 60th chapter, it speaks about how the kingdom, right, the kingdom of heaven is going to be built on the back of these servants, right? So as I said, man, it just goes to show, man, that these Christian churches, man, these are just full of lies and deceit. That's all these Christian churches are full of. Anything you want to say on that?
I'm gonna just say that's true. And, it's been like that for years, without even realizing it, I guess you could say. That they've always lied and not told the truth to the people about who we are, and also that everyone is not the same,
Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing on itself, man. Which, matter of fact,
a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic there. I mean, when you go to what they do, if you ask them the question, about if anybody can receive salvation, they always go to what is that? John 3:16. Everybody knows that verse by heart, right? For God so loved the whole world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life, right? We all know that verse. But the question is what's the world? Because if you go to Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17, it says that Israel is a world of its own. So when you deal with the Skipjes, right? When you deal with the Skipjes, there's multiple different worlds there. And you see, that's where people get mixed up. And it's not that they, intend on doing it. It's just that they've been misinformed. In fact, there's a verse in the Apocrypha that speaks about, many have been deceived by their own vain thoughts and opinions. Right, so, some of these cats, man, you really can't get mad at them at the end of the day because, a lot of them are just uneducated, on the topics that they're talking about. Like, hey, man, you saw that guy, the Mind of God, on there?
Oh no, I haven't seen one. What happened?
Oh, that guy's on there talking about, man, he's saying that the rapture is going to take place in, like, say,
Oh,
maybe 5, 10 days, 15 days from today. That's what he's on there teaching. He teaches that we don't got to go through the
I think
Great
I did see that
Tribulation.
comment actually.
Yeah, yeah. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on that guy?
I'll just say I don't know much like of them,
Yeah,
you know. I did see like the little live you guys had, you and him,
right.
stuff like that. I'll probably say like he has like I'll probably don't have to like say anything, but I'll probably would say he's like right on a certain things and certain things is like not.
Yeah, yeah, and
That,
as I said, I'll definitely give him credit where it's due. I've had many discussions in the past with him. I believe I want to say maybe 4 or 5, live, discussions with him. So yeah, he's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, and I really like
yeah,
that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I think that he is an Israelite, but he's going off on certain topics. But hey, it's all cool. As I said, he been teaching, that for years he was teaching that the mark of the beast is the microchip. But when this whole Corolla thing came out, he was like, "Oh no, no, it has to be this whole Corolla thing now." So as I said, man, these guys, they change their doctrine up, every few weeks, man. Like I know this one guy, man, which anybody, most people won't know who this is, but there's this guy out there who called himself the Loving Christian, which he changed his name now to I believe it's the King Lion. He changed his name to. You can find him on YouTube. But I remember a couple years ago, man, we went back and forth about, he was saying that Babylon, is the Vatican. Then he said it was Saudi Arabia. Then he said it was Mecca. Then he said it was America. Then he changed his mind again. So it just shows you, man, a lot of these guys out here, man, they'll believe anything that they're told, man. That's just how a lot of these guys are.
yeah. I see.
Yeah, and do you have any other verses that you had lined up that you wanted to bring out, man?
Um, I'll bring up I guess Romans 9:13.
Yeah, yeah, bring that verse out.
It's a simple one, but I mean, I guess it's suitable for this
Yeah,
topic.
yeah.
All right. Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny, man, because if you ask these Christian pastors, man, you ask them a question like does God hate anybody? And the answer they'll give you is no. But then it's like, okay, so immediately, when they say that, you go to Romans 9:13 because it says, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated, and that's the Lord speaking there. That's the Most High. So as I said, man, it's easy to cut these Christians, man. And as I said, man, I'll say this, anybody who's taken a weekend and, watches, either GMS, or even, Sakari or, any of these other Hebrew Israelite groups, if you watch their videos for a solid week or two, you're going to be on a level to take on a lot of these so-called Christian scholars, man, and these average, simple ass, average Christians out here, man. They don't really stand a chance against us, us Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll start, the wrap up here because we're actually at 20 minutes already on the recorder, man. But anyway, I did want to talk about, as I said, I don't know if I mentioned it on the video or not, so I'll go over and say it again that looking at how bad people are doing out here, man. And as I said, I don't know if I shared this story on video or not, so I'll just say it again. I was at the Dollar Tree, just a few days ago, and as I was checking out, there was this guy who was trying to steal from the store, and they called him, brought him back in, and he pretended he didn't have anything, but they ended up seeing he had down his pants, he had like $5 worth of socks. So that just shows you, man, that, the Americans out here ain't doing so hot, man, right? America ain't that golden city anymore, right? As the scriptures speak about, this place is starting to go down, man. So that's a beautiful thing, because these prophecies, are starting to come to pass before our eyes, man. And that's a beautiful thing, man, because we can see that, we're now in the time, of when our salvation is near. That's why the scriptures speak about, when you go into the account of, the Lord speaking with the apostles, he told them that, when you see these things come to pass, look up, because your redemption, I hope I'm pronouncing the word correctly, is near, right? And that our salvation is most certainly nearer than, what we could believe. And that's really the truth. So, we just got to, keep pushing, for this truth, because, hey, man, we can see, man, that, this place is clearly going down. Anything you want to add to that, Desan?
Yeah, I'll just say, that it's, almost the end of an era,
Yeah, and that goes into what is that? That's Second Ezra's chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning of it that follows, right? And that's why, man, you can see this kingdom is crumbling, man, right? There's riots going on every day. Half of the population, can't even afford, to have a dinner at this point. So I mean, it's just evident, man, that this place is totally done for, and we're just waiting for the mark of the beast prophecy, to come to pass, which is clearly at the doorstep, man, with all this, Corolla stuff going on. Like I'll tell you, man, I remember, when I went to the store down the street from my house, right by the door they have set up there a vaccination center, right? Which I see my guy on there. He's like, oh, but that's the mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast. Just got to make fun of that guy. But anyway, just shows us, man, that, we're clearly, in the time of prophecy. So this ain't no time to be playing games, man, because a lot of these cats out here, you look at their pages, man, they haven't uploaded a video in, damn, like 2 weeks or something. So a lot of brothers, man, need to, up their game, man, because we're clearly in some serious times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Very crazy times,
Yeah. So anyway, as I said, anybody that's watching, you can find our brother Desan. I'll leave a link to his channel in the comment section down below. Anyway, we are going to, end the video off, of course, by giving all praises unto Yahweh and to his son Yahweh Shai. And with that being said, we're going to give a sincere shalom to all you brothers. And yeah, that'll be the video.